Dating culture has imploded on itself over the last 15 or so years. There are lots of reasons for this, all primarily connected to technology, but the main culprit, dating apps. I am currently at home, which unfortunately is where most dating initiation happens nowadays. Women naturally want a man who shows up and takes risks and just proves that he's a man. In our modern world, men take less and less risks and hide behind their screens. They pretty much just do whatever it takes to stay within their comfort zone. There are so many reasons for this that I'd like to get into, but this video is only about dating apps, so that's what we're going to talk about. There are a few questions that we need to answer when talking about how toxic dating apps have become. Number one, what are the success rates on apps? Number two, what do women really want? And number three, is it possible to find love in 2023 without a dating app? First, let's dive into the success rates. Like most things, the research on this subject is pretty hit or miss. There are statistics that claim that 40% of all couples nowadays meet on dating apps, and others that say it's less than 20%. From my own experience, the amount of time that I actually spend on dating apps actually swiping compared to how often I actually go on a good date is embarrassingly low. According to a Stanford study, 39% of couples are meeting online, 27% at a bar or restaurant, 20% through friends, 11% at work, 9% at college or school, and 7% through family. This adds up to 113% of couples who participated in the study, so maybe if you're a math major, don't go to Stanford. But do women actually want to meet a guy online? This is Brooke. She's a nurse practitioner, a world traveler, a great friend of mine, and someone who has great insights about dating. Her and I have talked for hours and hours about the nuances of dating and how dating has changed over the years.
When I imagine meeting my future partner, like life partner, I would have never imagined meeting them through a dating app. But I think I maybe imagined more of a meet cute. Dating apps are inherently imbalanced against men, and this is a hard truth to take in. I found a statistic online that showed that men on average swipe on 47% of the profiles that they come across, whereas for women, they literally will only swipe on 5%. It doesn't matter if you are at the top of the food chain or just your average Joe, women will get far more men swiping on them than the other way around. Men are for sure less manly now than they used to be. It is so easy to just message someone on an app or to think that it was just one date, I don't need to ever text them again. Now, that's not to say that dating apps don't work ever. I know plenty of people who have met their wife or husband through a dating app, but it does suck when 99% of the guys are fighting over 5% of the market. From my own stats, I've primarily used Hinge over the last 2 years for my online dating, and I'm currently still matched with 127 women. From that 127 women, there are maybe 3 that I had like a really good connection with and had like at least a really good date, or maybe it progressed a little farther than that. Now, if we look at relationships as a whole, I've had 7 girlfriends since I was 16 years old. 2 of those actually came from dating apps, and 1 I was really into until she dumped me. I realized that I needed to create a test for myself to see if this research that I was finding was crazy or not. What would happen if I created an all-new dating profile and spent 1 hour just swiping? Alternatively, what would happen if I just took an hour and just networked with friends and family and just unapologetically asked if they knew anyone that they could set me up with? Would I get any quality dates from either result? Or is dating just terrible nowadays? All right, timer's going for 1 hour. Gonna go ahead and start hitting up the dating apps and see if over the next couple days I get any results whatsoever. I think one of the hardest things about being a guy on dating apps is just figuring out what to say. Like, do you just recycle pickup lines, or are you expected to just know 100 different pickup lines to use in any given week? Just person after person, girl after girl. The vast majority you'll never meet. It kind of sucks. Starting to get boring. It's been 45 minutes. We're at the bottom of the barrel here. Worked our way down to Tinder. All right, it's been an hour. Now, time to start the next challenge. Worked my way through Hinge, Mutual, Bumble, and Tinder. Did not like the process, but again, very familiar because I've done it a lot. Now let's try reaching out to friends. It's been 35 minutes, just reaching out to friends. Also pretty tedious. Gone through all of the people I follow on Instagram, most of my Facebook friends, until I got to mostly just my friends in Europe, which I don't think it's worth reaching out to. And now I am just scrolling through my contact list, see if I find anyone worth reaching out to. All right, it has been an hour. I reached out to probably around 30 people. And I guess we'll just see. So I will report back in 24 hours to share my results from both swiping for an hour versus just reaching out to people. I didn't get a single match from swiping for an hour. It's probably more of an algorithm thing. Maybe I truly do just have horrible profiles, but it doesn't make sense because there are times when I don't swipe very much and I'll get a match or two. So to go for a whole hour on multiple different apps and to be swiping to not get a single match, it seems weird to me. Now, from networking, reaching out to my friends and family, I had multiple people say they want to hang out, they want to do a group thing, they want to get together, have a party. A couple people that said that they wanted to set me up with someone. It just seemed to produce a lot better results. Now this sheds light on the thing that I just absolutely hate. I hate it. I hate so much about dating apps. They feed you scraps. They can tell when you're binging it and they have you in their pocket compared to if you start pulling away. And I've had times where I don't use a dating app for like a week at a time, and they'll start sending me notifications saying people are liking my profile. Or I'll get on and someone really attractive liked me, and it gets me back on the app. It gets me to re-engage in their little world, their little system, their system of control. Compared to if I'm swiping a ton, I often get very bad results. It makes me feel like their whole business model is just thriving on people's loneliness. When people feel lonely, that's when they draw them in. And that is something that I feel like my life can do without. After everything I learned from this video, looking at broad statistics, looking at my own results, swiping over and over and over again throughout the years, seeing the fruits of what has come from that, I've come to realize that dating apps have done almost nothing good for me. I've only gotten 2 girlfriends from it, both of which ended up crashing and burning for various reasons. Ultimately, I like to think of dating as a whole like building a business. Our personalities, physique, careers, spirituality, political views, it all comes together and culminates into what could be classified as the product. Getting out and finding dates is like sales and marketing.
I felt like I was trying to advertise myself.
The more we put in, the more we get out. If we don't want returns on the product, then we have to take it back and keep developing it and improving it, or find a new market to sell to. Those who have the most success are generally those who put in the most effort and find ways to creatively think outside the box. People who take risks. In terms of dating apps, I can't help but think, what if instead of using those apps, I had spent my time making genuine connections? What if I had been more intentional? How much different would my life be if I got out of the matrix, decided to just man up, and just made it happen? After all this, I came to the conclusion that I needed to leave dating apps forever. Now, if you enjoyed this video, you're going to want to check out this video that I made about the effects of video games on the mind. Excessive video game use is very closely linked to modern men losing their confidence in dating. So if you enjoyed this topic, go ahead and check it out. It's right here.